Hello everyone, I Hirar Popania. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about translation or protein synthesis. Translation. Translation is the biosynthesis of protein or the polypeptide in living cell, which is referred as a translation process. The sequence of the amino acid in the protein synthesis is determined by the nucleotide base pair sequence of mRNA. The sequences which are placed in the protein synthesis, which is determined by the nucleotide base sequence which is given in the messenger RNA. Genetic code. What is genetic code? The genetic code is the 3 nucleotide base sequences in the mRNA, which act as a code for the amino acid in the protein constituents. So these are the known as the genetic code or the codons. The genetic code may be regarded as the dictionary of the nucleotide base. That means nucleotide base, that is the adenine, guanine, cytosine and the uracil. This nucleotide base pair, they determines the sequence of the amino acids in the protein. The codons. Codons are the composed of 4 nucleotide base, that is the purine base, in that the adenine and the guanine, and the pyrimidine, that is the cytosine and the uracil. These 4 bases produce the 64 combinations of the amino acids, because the 4 nucleotide base pair and the triplet in the genetic code, that means codon. So 4:3, that means 64 different combination of these 3 base codon which are produced from the bases, that is the adenine, guanine, cytosine and the uracil. The nucleotide sequences of the codon on the mRNA is written from the 5' end to 3' end. 61 codons code for the 20 amino acids. The codons which are placed in the mRNA, they are written as the 5' to 3', and there are 61 codons, they are for the 20 amino acid. Termination codon. The 3 codon from the 64 codons, the UAA, that means uracil adenine adenine, uracil adenine guanine and uracil guanine adenine. They are not code for the any amino acid, but they act as a stop signal in the protein synthesis. So they are known as the termination codon or the nonsense codons. The codons, that is AUG and sometimes GUG, they are the chain initiating codon. That means they start the process of the translation. So the termination codons, they are the UAA, UAG and the UGA. They are the termination codon. They stop the protein synthesis. And the AUG and the GUG, they are the chain initiating codons. These are the codons for the 20 amino acids. Example, the phenylalanine. The phenylalanine have the 2 different codons for the amino acid, that is the uracil 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 and the uracil uracil and the cytosine. So these are the codons for 20 amino acids. Next, characteristics of the genetic codons. First characteristics, that is the universality. The same codons, they are used to code for the same amino acids in the all living organisms. That means the same codon which are used for the code for same amino acid. The genetic code is appropriately regarded as a universal. That means the all living organism, they use the same codons for the same code of the amino acid. The few exceptions, that means AUA is the code for the methionine in mitochondria for protein synthesis, where the same codon AUA that is used for the isolation in the cytoplasm. So these are the few exceptional. Then the genetic code, they are the universal for the all living organism. Next, specificity. Particularly codon always code for the same amino acid. Hence, the genetic code is highly specific for the unambiguous. Example, UGG, that is the code for the tryptophan amino acid. That means the codon which are always code for the amino acid. That means UGG, that is the code for the tryptophan. Then triple U, that is uracil, that is code for the phenylalanine. They are the specific for the one amino acid. Then non-overlapping. Genetic code is read from the fixed point as a continuous base sequences. So they are non-overlapping, commaless and without any punctuations. Then the codons, they are written as the example uracil, cytosine, uracil, adenine, guanine. So they are read as in triplet form. That means triple U, then CUU, AGA and the triple G. The addition or the deletion of one or two base will radically change the message sequences in mRNA. During the protein synthesis or the translation process, any addition or the deletion from the code of bases will radically change the message to the mRNA. So, the protein synthesized from such mRNA will be totally different. When some other nucleotides or the base sequences, they are added or they deleted, so the message were passed to the mRNA and the mRNA produce some different protein synthesis. Next, degenerate, that means degeneracy. Most of the amino acid have the more than one codon. Likewise, 61 codons for the only 20 amino acid. So, the glycine, they have the 4 codon, and other amino acid, they are the more than 1 codons. The codons, they are designate the same amino acid, they are called as the synonyms. The most of the synonyms differ in only the third base sequence. The third prime in the base sequence, they are only the differ one in the synonym of the codons. So these are the characteristics of the genetic code. That is the universality, then the degeneracy, then specificity. These are the characteristics of the amino acids. Next, codon and the anticodon recognition. How codon and the anticodon, they are the code of the mRNA, that is recognized by the anticodons of the tRNA. That means the recognition of the codon and the anticodons done when the codes of the mRNA and the anticodon of the tRNA, they are the recognized to each other. They pair with each other in antiparallel direction. That means the 5' to 3' of mRNA and 3' to 5' of the tRNA. The complementary base pairing, that means adenine to uracil and cytosine to guanine, occurs between the first two bases of the codon and last two bases of the anticodons. Anticodon region of the tRNA recognize the codon in the mRNA. So by this process, the codon and the anticodon recognition is done in the protein synthesis. The codon anticodon recognition diagram. This is the mRNA. The codons are the 4 amino acid. This is the tRNA, which take the amino acid, the proper amino acid, the codons for the recognition. The anticodon of the tRNA, they recognize the codon of the mRNA and bind to the each other. That means they pair to the each other. Protein synthesis. The protein synthesis, which involve the translation of the nucleotide base sequences of mRNA in the language of the amino acid sequences. The protein synthesis, they are divided into the various steps. First steps, requirement of the components. That means for the protein synthesis, which types of the requirements or the components, they are the comes from the our body. Then activation of the amino acids. Then the protein synthesis proper, chaperone and the protein folding, post translation modification. First, requirement of the components. The all amino acid, essential and the non-essential, they are the 20 amino acid, they all require in the protein synthesis. Protein synthesis can occur only when all amino acid needed for a particular protein are the available. If there is a deficiency in dietary supply of any one of the essential amino acid, the translation process stops. Next requirement, that is the ribosomes. Functionally active ribosomes, they are the center or the factory for the protein synthesis. That means the ribosomes, they are the factory for the protein synthesis. Ribosomes, they are the huge complex structure of the protein and the ribosomal RNA. The ribosomes, that is the 70S, they are the for prokaryotes and the 80A subunit, that is for the eukaryotes. Each ribosome consists of the 2 subunits. The ribosomes, that means example, the 70S for the prokaryotes ribosomes, they are the used. The each ribosomes, there has the 2 subunit, large subunit and the 1 small subunit. The functional ribosome has the 2 sides, the A site and the P site. Each site covers the both subunit. That means both subunit, large as well as the small subunit. The A site is the binding of the amino acid tRNA. That means the tRNA which transfer the amino acid. So this amino acid, they bind to the A site. That P site, they are for the binding of the peptidyl tRNA. That means the transfer of the amino acid, they are bind to the P site, and during the course of the translation process, in this process translation, A site is for the binding of amino acid tRNA and P site for the binding of peptidyl tRNA. Some others consider the A site as the acceptor site, that means they accept the amino acid, and P site, that means they donor site, that means they donate the peptide chain. In case of the eukaryotes, there is another site which is called as an exit site. In prokaryotes, there are two sites, A site and the P site, whereas in the eukaryotes, the another site, that is the E site. The eukaryotes contains the three sites A, P and the E. The ribosomes are located in the cytosomal fraction of the cell, and they are found in the association with rough endoplasmic reticulum, that is the RER, to form the cluster RER and the ribosomes where the protein synthesis occurs. Next, messenger RNA. The messenger RNA, they are the specific information required for the synthesis of given protein is present on the mRNA. The DNA has passed the genetic information in the form of the codon to the mRNA and to translate into the protein sequences. So the mRNA they give the message to the protein synthesis, which is passed by the DNA to the protein. Transfer RNA. Transfer RNA, they carry the amino acid, hand them over the growing the peptide chain. The amino acid is covalently bound to the tRNA at the 3' end. The transfer RNA, that means they transfer the amino acid when the protein synthesis occurs. The tRNA, they carry the amino acid and hand over to the growing peptide chain during the translation process. This amino acid, they covalently bound to the tRNA at the 3' end of the transfer RNA. Each tRNA has the 3 nucleotide base sequence. They are known as the anticodon, which is responsible for the recognition of the codon of the mRNA for the protein synthesis. Next requirement, that is the energy sources. Both ATP and the GTP, they are required as a energy source in the protein synthesis. Some of the reactions involved in the breakdown of the GTP and the ATP respectively. The ATP converted into the AMP and the GTP converted into the GMP, and they liberate the pyrophosphate moiety. Each one of these reactions consume the 2 high energy phosphates, which is equivalent to the 2 ATP. Next, protein factors. The process of the translation involves in the numbers of the protein factors, likewise which are seen in the transcription process. In the eukaryotes, they are use the transcription factors. Similarly, in the translation process, the number of the protein factors which are used for the protein synthesis. These are the needed for the initiation, elongation, termination of the protein synthesis. The protein factor, they are the more complex in the eukaryotes which are compared to the prokaryotes. The next step, that is the activation of the amino acids. The amino acids, they are activated attached to the tRNA in the two-step reactions. The group of the enzyme, namely amino acid tRNA synthetase enzyme, they are required for this process. This enzyme is highly specific for the amino acid and the corresponding tRNAs. The amino acid, that is the first attached to the enzyme, utilize the ATP and form the enzyme AMP amino acid complex. This amino acid then transfer to the 3' end of the tRNA to form the amino acid tRNA, and this amino acid tRNA, they transfer the amino acid in the protein synthesis. This is the diagram of the activation of the tRNA. In that, first of all, the amino acid, they utilize the energy, that is the ATP, and bind to the amino acid tRNA synthetase enzyme. In that, the amino acid and the AMP, they form the complex and they bound to the specific tRNA, and they after that they are bound to the 3' of the tRNA, and they are known as the activated tRNA. Next, protein synthesis proper. The protein or the polypeptide synthesis occur on the ribosomes. As we know, the ribosomes, they are the factory for the protein synthesis. The mRNA is read in the 5' to 3' direction, and the polypeptide synthesis proceed from the N terminal to the C terminal. The mRNA, they read the codons from 5' to 3' direction, and the polypeptide synthesis occurs from N terminal, that means amino group, and the N to the carbon terminal. Next, initiation of the translation process. The initiation of the translation process in the eukaryotes is the complex one, involving at least the 10 eukaryotic initiation factors and divided into the steps. First, the ribosomal dissociation. Next, formation of 43S pre-initiation complex, formation of the 40S pre-initiation complex, and formation of the 80S initiation complex. In the initiation of the translation process, they are divided into the 4 steps. First, ribosomal dissociation, then formation of the 43A subunit, formation of the 48 subunit, and formation of the 80S subunit. First, ribosomal dissociation. The ribosomal dissociation, in that the 80S ribosome unit, they are dissociate to form the 40S to 60S subunit. That means in the eukaryotes, 80S ribosome are present. These ribosomes, they are the dissociate into the 40 and the 60S. These two initiating factor, namely EIF, that is the eukaryotic initiation factor 3, and the 1A, they bound to the newly formed 40S subunit, and they block the reassociation with the 60S subunit. After the dissociation of the 40S and the 60S subunit, the initiation factor, that is the EIF3 and the EIF1A, they bind to the 40S subunit. So there is a blockage of the reassociation with the 60th subunit with the 40S. Next, formation of the 43S pre-initiation complex. After the dissociation of the 80S subunit, there is a formation of the 43 initiation complex. The ternary complex, that is the meth tRNA and the factor 2 bound to the 40S with GTP, and they form the 43S subunit. The presence of the EIF3 and the EIF1A stabilize these complexes. That means 40S subunit, they bound to the met tRNA and the factor 2 with GTP, they form the 43S pre-initiation complex, and the factor 3 and the 1A, they stabilize the complexes. Next, formation of the 48S pre-initiation complex. Now, binding of the mRNA to the 43S pre-initiation complex result in the formation of the 40S through the intermediate, that is the 43S subunit complex. The formation of the 43S, after that the formation of the 40S initiation complex. In that, the 43S and the mRNA, they bound to each other and form the 40S initiation complex. The factor, that is the 4F complex, formed by the association of 4G, 4A with 4E, which gives the 4F. This 4F, that is the referred as a cap binding protein. They are the binds to the cap of the mRNA. The factor 4A and the 4B bind to the mRNA and reduce its complex structure. This mRNA that transfer to the 43S complex. For the appropriate association of the 43S pre-initiation complex with mRNA, the energy has to be the supply. Next, recognition of the initiation codon. The ribosomal initiation complex scan the mRNA for the identification of the appropriate initiation codons, and 5' AUG is the initiation codon. The ribosomal initiation complex, they scan the mRNA codons which are for the amino acid, and they are identify the appropriate initiation codon, and they give the permission to the mRNA start the protein synthesis. Next, formation of the ATS pre-initiation complex. The 48 initiation complex bind to the 60S ribosomal subunit and give the ATS initiation complexes. This bind to involve the hydrolysis of the GTP. This step is facilitated by the involvement of the factor 5. As the ATS complex is formed, initiation factor bound to the 40S initiation complex and released, and they are the recycled. The activation of the factor 2 require the factor 2B called the guanine nucleotide exchange factor and the energy. This activated factor 2 require the 2C to form the ternary complex. This is the flow diagram of the ribosomal dissociation process, where in this the 80 subunit, they are the converted into the 40S and the 60S. For the blockage of the reassociation of both subunit, the 3 and the 1A factor bound to the 40S subunit. In that, the 40S subunit, they are bound to the meth RNA. They form the 43S pre-initiation complex. Now, the factor 2 is also attached to the 43 pre-initiation complex. Now, with the addition of the 4F factor, the requirement of the ATP, the addition of this energy, they known as the 40S initiation complex, and this 40S subunit, they are bound with the 60S subunit. They gives the ATS, that is the pre-initiation complex, that is the ATS complex in the protein synthesis requirement. Now, the detachment of the 1A and the 3 and the also a phosphate moiety, they are the recycled and the reutilized in the ribosomal dissociation. Next, regulation of the initiation process. The factor 4F, a complex formed by the assembly of the 3 initiation factors, control the initiation in the translation process. The main factor, that is the 4F, which is formed by the 3 initiation factors, they control the initiation process as well as the translation process. Then 4E factor, the component of the 4F, that is the primarily responsible for the recognition of the mRNA cap. The 4E, that is the component of the 4F factor, which is responsible for the regulation of these processes. They are also responsible for recognition of the mRNA. So this step is the rate limiting step in the translation process. Then factor 2, that is involved in the formation of the 43S subunit, that is also control the protein biosynthesis. Next, initiation in the translation in the prokaryotes. The prokaryotes, they have the 70S ribosomal. The 30S ribosomal subunit is bound to the initiation factor 3 and they attach to the ternary complex, that is the 2. They and the formyl meth tRNA and the energy, that is the GTP. The initiation factor 1 also participate in the formation of the pre-initiation complex. That means in the initiation of the translation in prokaryotes, starting with the 30S subunit, this subunit that is bound with the factor, that is the 3 factor, then the ternary complex, that is the 2, formyl meth tRNA and the energy, and also the factor 1 that participate in the formation of the pre-initiation complexes. The recognition of the initiation codon, that is the AUG, that is done by the Sine-Dalgarno sequences. The initiation of the translation process in prokaryotes, they starting with the recognition of initiation codon, that is the AUG, that is the recognized by the Sine-Dalgarno sequences. This Sine-Dalgarno sequence, it means the sequence of the 5 to the 9 nucleotide preceding the start codon in the prokaryotes mRNA, which is recognized by the ribosome as correct site for the binding, that is the Sine-Dalgarno sequences. The 50S subunit is now bound with the 30S unit to produce the 70S initiation complex in the prokaryotes. That means the 30S subunit with factor 3, factor 2, formyl meth tRNA with energy and the factor 1. And then this 30S unit that bound with the 50S and gives the 70S initiation complex in the prokaryotes. Next, elongation of the translation process. The ribosomes elongate the polypeptide chain by sequential addition of the amino acid. The amino acid sequences is determined by the order of codons in the specific mRNA. The elongation, a cyclic process, involves the certain elongation factors. The ribosomes they elongate the process of protein synthesis with polypeptide chain by sequential addition of the newly amino acid. This amino acid sequences, it is determined by the mRNA codons. The elongation process, that is the cyclic process which require the elongation factors. The elongation factors, they may be divided into the 3 steps. The elongation factor, in the elongation step, the binding of the amino acid tRNA to the A site, then the peptide bond formation and the translocation process. First, binding of the amino acid tRNA to A site. In this first, at the ATS initiation complex that contain the meth tRNA in the P site, and the A site, that is the free one. The another amino acid tRNA is placed in the A site. This requires the proper codon recognition on the mRNA and involvement of this elongation factor, that is the 1A, and supply of the energy by GTP. The amino acid tRNA is placed in the A site and elongation factor 1 and the GDP are the recycle one to bring another amino acid tRNA. In that, the first one, the ATS initiation complex, which contain the meth tRNA in the P site, and the A site, that is the free one. The amino acid tRNA is placed in the A1 A site. The code for the amino acid that is recognized by the mRNA. This amino acid tRNA is placed in the A site and the factor, that is the 1A and the GTP, they are the recycle one, and the go for the new one, bring the new one amino acid tRNA. Next, peptide bond formation. The enzyme peptidyl transferase catalyzes the formation of the peptide bond. The activity of this enzyme lies on the 20S RNA of the 60S ribosomal subunit. It is therefore the RNA referred to as a ribozyme that catalyze the peptide formation. This rRNA, that is the referred to as a ribozyme, which catalyzes the peptide bond formation. So net result peptide bond formation is attachment of the growing peptide chain to the tRNA in the A site. Here is the structure where the elongation process is given. Here is the ribosome factory where the protein synthesis occur. This is the mRNA 5' to 3'. This is the tRNA. They bring the amino acid P site and the A site. The P site where the amino acid tRNA they are the bind, and the A site where the amino acid peptide chain they are the donate to the P site. The translocation process. The ribosomes moves to the next codon of the mRNA. This process called the translocation process. When the ribosome moves to its next codon of the mRNA, that means 3' end, this process known as the translocation process. It also known as involves the movement of growing peptide chain from A site to P site. The translocation, that means the movement of growing chain to A site to the P site. The translocation requires the factor 2 and the energy, that is the GTP, and the hydrolyze it and supply to the move mRNA. This factor 2 and the GTP complex they recycle one for the translocation process. Another site, that is namely as the E site, which is identified in the eukaryotes. The deacylated, that means after the transfer of the amino acid to the peptide chain, the deacetylated tRNA moves into the E site, and from where they leave the ribosomes. In case of the prokaryotes, elongation factor they are the different one, and they are the elongation factor Tu, elongation factor Ts, and the G. The incorporation of the amino acid. About the 6 amino acid per second they are the incorporated during the course of the elongation of translation in the eukaryotes process. The incorporation rate in the translation process, that is the 6 amino acid of the tRNA they are transferred per second in the eukaryotes. In case of the prokaryotes, the 20 amino acid can be transferred in the per second. The process of the protein and the polypeptide synthesis in the translation process with the great speed and the accuracy one. Next, termination of the translation process. The one of the stop termination signals, that is the uracil adenine, uracil adenine guanine, and the uracil guanine adenine, which terminate the growing polypeptide chain. After the attachment of this terminated codon, which act as a stop codon and do not have a specific tRNA to the bind. This is the flow diagram of the translation process. Here the mRNA and here is the ribosomes attached to the mRNA, the P side and the A side. The tRNA of the methyl tRNA they are bound to the P side. A side is the free. Now the amino acid tRNA bring the amino acid and bound to the A side. With the help of peptidyl transferase enzyme, the amino acid which are attached to the tRNA, they are transferred to the A site, and that means they transfer to the A site, and this deacylated, that means decharged tRNA, they removed from the cycle, and this A site where tRNA is attached, they are transferred to the P site. Next, the new tRNA, that means charged tRNA, they bring the amino acid and first they bound to the A side. Similar one, the peptide chain, they are transferred to the A, and the deacylated amino acid, they are the free from the ribosome, and again the chain is elongated and form the protein synthesis. After the elongated chain, the protein synthesis is done. The termination codon is attached to the site and terminate the protein synthesis. Next, inhibitor of the protein synthesis. First, streptomycin. Initiation of the protein synthesis, that is inhibited by the streptomycin. It is caused by the misreading of the mRNA and interfere with the normal pairing between codon and the anticodons. The first inhibitor, that is the streptomycin, they inhibited by the misreading of the mRNA as well as the normal pairing, that is the codon and anticodon, they interfere with them. Then tetracycline, it inhibits the binding of amino acyl tRNA to the ribosomal complex. Next, puromycin. This is the structure resemble to the amino acyl tRNA. This puromycin enter into the acyl instead of the amino acyl tRNA and incorporated into the growing chain of the polypeptide chain. So there is a reason they release the protein synthesis, protein chain. This antibiotic prevent the protein synthesis in both prokaryotes as well as the eukaryotes, and it is competitive inhibitor of the enzyme, that is the peptidyl transferase enzyme. Next, erythromycin. It inhibits the translocation by binding with the 50A subunit of the bacterial ribosomes. Then diphtheria toxin. It prevents the translocation in the eukaryotic protein synthesis by inactivating the elongation factor, that is the factor 2. So these are the inhibitors of the protein synthesis, and the process, that is the translation process. Thank you.